Good afternoon, everyone. Good afternoon. It is with great pride that members of Congress come together on the steps of the Capitol to welcome our friends who are fasting for families, fasting for a vote. We welcome you here with pride, but also with humility. Humility that we have not been able to get a vote on the floor of the House yet for bipartisan comprehensive immigration reform, one form of which has already passed the United States Senate. I'm honored to be here with my colleague John Lewis, Javier Becerra, Judy Chu, Joe Kennedy, Ruben Hinojosa, and many other members of Congress on the steps of the Capitol to pay our respects to you. Members of the fasting family, Eliseo Medina, J.D. Yoon, Reverend Jim Wallace, so many others who have fasted and stopped their fast and transferred that cross to others. I'm proud of our members who have joined the fast, and you'll hear from some of them this afternoon. You know, one of the biggest advocates for comprehensive immigration reform in Washington, D.C., was President George W. Bush. As a former governor of Texas, he understood the issue, he knew how important it was, and he advocated for it. It didn't happen. He couldn't convince his own party to vote for it. But in this debate now on the bill, he hasn't spoken out about many issues. But he has spoken out and said, when we have this debate on immigration, we have to do so with values and respect for the people whose needs we hope to address. And in passing immigration reform, it's about growing our economy. It's not just about the individual families, although that is the most important reason to do it. But as said before, and I continue to say, when newcomers come to America with their hopes, their dreams, their aspirations for a better life for their families, they come here with their work ethic, their family values, their spirit of community, their faith. So faith-filled are they. Those are American values, and in bringing those values of optimism, determination, and the rest, they make America more American. So what we're doing on this immigration reform is making America more American in terms of values. We're making America stronger economically because, again, this brings hundreds of billions of dollars to the Treasury and grows our economy with the invigoration, the constant reinvigoration of America. That's who we are as a people. That's what immigration has brought to our country. That is what has kept America number one. So we thank the fasters for their sacrifice, for shining a bright light on the Capitol of the United States where this bill has not been passed, but we're ever optimistic. It's all about time. For us, it is inevitable that we will pass comprehensive immigration reform. For some, it is inconceivable and they will stand in the way. But we know that it will happen, and we just have to shorten the time between the inevitable to us and the inconceivable to them. Yes. And our fasters are making the value of time even weightier by using their time to make a sacrifice in public view, respected by all Americans, and we are forever in their debt. And we make the promise to them, we aren't going away, this is going to happen, it's just a matter of time. In that regard, I'm pleased to yield to our colleague who is just back from South Africa, going to the funeral of Nelson Mandela, Congressman John Lewis. It's actually
Thank you very much, Leader Pelosi, for organizing this effort to send the strongest possible message to the leadership of the House of Representatives. There are members of this body who want to make a difference in the life of immigrants in this country. There are young children, very young children, dreamers, young children who live in constant fear. They're afraid to go to school, afraid someone will point them out. They're afraid their mothers and fathers will be deported. We don't want to go home and start this holiday season of love, forgiveness, and compassion, and turn our backs on those who live in fear in America. That is not right. That is not fair, and that is not just. The Senate, as the leader stated, has already passed comprehensive immigration reform. The House has a companion bill, House Resolution 15, with over 190 bipartisan co-sponsors. If the Speaker would bring the bill to the floor, we could begin the process of immigration reform in America right now, not tomorrow, today, right now. Mr. Speaker, listen, Mr. Speaker, can you hear? Millions of lives are hanging in the balance as this Congress leaves for a break. How can we turn our backs on the family who must hide in the shadow of this country? Where is our moral guide? Where is our hearts? Where is our soul? History will not be kind to us as a people and as a nation unless we do what is right, what is fair, and what is just. The immigrants, they will help advance our economy and add to the richness of our culture. We're joining here with Fast and Full families today to say we want to confront the challenges of immigration reform, including the issue around citizenship and broader security. We want to put these issues on the table and begin the process of reforming our laws to end the humanitarian crisis in our current policy that our policy has created. We have time. We have the time before we leave here tomorrow to bring H.R. 15 to the floor for a vote. Mr. Speaker, as a nation and as a compassionate people, we can do better. We must do better. It has been said, maybe our foremothers and our forefathers all came here in different ships, but we're all in the same boat now. We're one people. We're one family, the human family. Let us do what the American people sent us here to do. Let us work together and lead this nation. Let's find a reasonable and humane solution to human problems. Let us not wait, not be patient. As I said so many times before, we cannot wait. We cannot be patient. We need comprehensive immigration reform now. It is the right thing to do. Please, Mr. Speaker, bring the bill to the floor. Thank you, Madam Leader.
As Congressman Lewis mentioned, we have over 190 co-sponsors of this bipartisan legislation. Thanks to the Congressional Black Caucus, thank you, John and Marcia Fudge, the chair of the Congressional Black Caucus. Thanks to the Hispanic Caucus, chaired by Ruben Hinojosa and represented in the leadership by Congressman Becerra, and by the Asian Pacific American Caucus, led by Congresswoman Judy Chu of California. I'm going to yield to the three of them now to speak on this subject. Congressman Becerra has been engaged in every bipartisan conversation on this subject for years. Thank you for your leadership. Thank you so much for helping us get all of those co-sponsors. Thank you for leading the way for comprehensive immigration reform.
Thank you, Madam.
Congressman Becerra.
Madam Leader, thank you very much. And we could have stopped right after John Lewis spoke. And some will look around and say, it's cold. What are you doing without a jacket on? I look around and I see everyone here who believes that we're going to get this done. And I look at the sky as blue as it is, and I think, I'm in Southern California right now. It is a good day.
It is.
It is a good day because we are joined by the fasters who have proven to us that you don't need to be the strongest or the fastest. You just have to be the most committed to get it done. And we applaud them for being with us in this struggle to get comprehensive immigration reform done. We're going to win this because the fasters are with us. We're going to win this because America's dreamers are with us. We're going to win this because you see the fabric of America standing here today as representatives of this Congress, as ordinary Americans, as people of every stripe behind this cause. And we're going to win this because the American people, quite honestly, by more than 2-1, have said it is time for us to fix a broken immigration system and include a path to citizenship for those immigrants who work hard in this country. We are going to win this because of all those people who are with us today. And we are going to win this because history is with us as well. And no one spoke better about history or could speak better about history than John Lewis. It is time to get this done. And let me announce to you today that we know in the House of Representatives we have a majority of people who are ready to do comprehensive immigration reform, including a path to citizenship. Not only do we have 193 signatures on legislation to do that, but we also know we would be joined by several more Democratic colleagues. Of the 190 that are on, we know that there are still several more that are looking to come on or vote for it. And we also know that there are another 26 Republicans who have not yet signed on to the legislation, who have said they are for comprehensive immigration reform. We have more than 218 members in the House who have publicly declared they are for comprehensive immigration reform. We will get this done. This is a great day. The sun is out. It is not cold because we will achieve what we have been fighting for. That is comprehensive immigration reform. Now, let me now ask the chairman of the Congressional Hispanic Caucus to come forward, Congressman Ruben Hinojosa from Texas.
Thank you. Thank you, Javier. Immigration reform isn't dead, and it's not going anywhere. The voices of those pushing for reform have only gotten stronger and will continue to do so. We're making progress. A House vote is still possible when we return in January, if not earlier. The House Immigration Bill, H.R. 15, has over 193 co-sponsors, and the votes are there, as explained by Congressman Becerra. We can make this happen. House Democrats and the Congressional Hispanic Caucus have been at the forefront of this debate and will continue to be among its strongest champions. Members of the Congressional Hispanic Caucus fasted for immigration. And I say that the Tri-Caucus, made up of 88 members, are unanimously working on making this happen. The caucus has been a steadfast ally and working with groups and leaders across this country to push for comprehensive immigration reform. The time is now for comprehensive immigration reform as members of Congress, including my Republican colleagues, return home to their districts for Christmas break. They will have an opportunity to hear from their constituents, where over 80% of Americans want this to happen. I'm confident this comprehensive immigration reform movement will remain strong and keep going into the holiday season and beyond. As pointed out by Leader Pelosi, immigration is important to the fabric of our nation and our economy. It will reduce the deficit by nearly $850 billion over the next 20 years. And it will grow the economy by $1.4 trillion over 20 years, which adds over 5% to the GDP by 2033. So in closing, there is too much at stake here for our immigrant families and for our nation. Families have lived in the shadows for much too long, and it's time for our country be fixed and that its broken immigration system be repaired. The Tri-Caucus is committed, and we're going to make it happen. With that, I yield to the chair of the caucus of the Asian Pacific American Caucus, Judy Hsu.
I am inspired by the fasters that are before you. The faces that they represent are as diverse as we are a society. They are black, they are brown, they are yellow, they are white. They represent every factor in our society. You know, Congress's inaction on immigration reform not only blocks people aspiring to be our fellow citizens, it hinders all those people who are stuck in the shadows from reaching their full potential. And 75% of the immigrants to this country are women and children. It is truly a woman's issue, too. Yes, women are disproportionately impacted by our immigration system. Millions of women and children are caught in our visa backlog of 4.3 million, some waiting in line for decades to be reunited with their families. Mothers are separated from their children when detained and deported. Domestic violence victims fear reporting their abuser because of the immigration system. Women are the backbone of our families and our communities. But right now, our broken immigration system is chipping away at the critical support they provide. The American people have had enough. When men and women place their health and well-being on the line and fast for weeks as these fasters have done, it is clear something must be done. Now, I was honored to join the fast in solidarity for 24 hours this week. But you know what? I truly commend Lisa Sharon Harper, Eliseo Medina, Christian Avila, and DJ Yoon, who fasted for 22 days. And Marie Lopez.
And Rudy Lopez.
Rudy Lopez, too. Yes, shout out for Rudy Lopez. And all these fasters who have continued this struggle. Their efforts have touched the conscience of this nation. It's time for Republicans to respond to public demands and bring H.R. 15 to the House floor for a vote. Now is the time to pass comprehensive immigration reform.
Thank you. No, I want to do something else first. Can you believe that we have a special guest who has joined us? She's here to advocate for comprehensive immigration reform, saw that we were coming down the steps and had joined us. Some people know her as Ugly Betty. I think she's beautiful America. America Ferrara. America, wave. Another one of our colleagues who joined the fast and who will give closing remarks now is a freshman member of Congress who made us so proud when he accepted the cross from Eliseo Medina to carry on his fast, Congressman Joseph Kennedy.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. I'm extraordinarily humbled to join Leader Pelosi and so many of my colleagues, many of whom have themselves joined in this fast, and even more of whom have been carrying on this battle for a long, long time. To Fast for Families, thank you so much for literally taking this fight to our doorstep. I had the honor last week of accepting the fast from a dear friend, Eliseo Medina. Since then, it's been incredible to see the outpouring of support from so many members if they have continued on that fast and continue to do so even today. To the fasters and the advocates gathered, thank you. It is individuals like you that have always been this country's conscience, in the moments when she has needed you most. And right now, she's leaning on you now more than ever. If the Speaker has decided that the American people don't deserve the reform that they so desperately call for, then it is up to us to convince them otherwise. It's up to us to speak out every day about the painful consequences of this broken immigration system and its effects on our families and communities. It's up to us that this country's diversity has always been its spirit and its strength since the day that we declared certain truths to be self-evident. It is up to us. The time is now. No vamos a rendirnos. Seguimos esa lucha. Thank you.
Once again, to our fasters, everyone who cares about the greatness of America, understands what immigration does for our country, is deeply in your debt. Many people have worked for a long time for comprehensive immigration reform. You are taking us the last mile. Thank you so much to our fasters. Thank you all. Thank you to my colleagues who are here as well.